Hi! Welcome to another video, and today we're dialing in Espresso again, but we're doing it in square mile, and the sound is not good here yet. It will be eventually. So I'm going to do most of this in voiceover. A couple of things to talk about as I get started will be the coffee we're using today and the kind of moral dilemma that I have with that. And this video is also sponsored by Skillshare, and I'll tell you about that later as well.
So let's talk about what we're using today. Now, this is all chosen by my Patreon supporters, by the top tier on Patreon, and they have picked the decent espresso machine. This is the DE1 Plus, as well as the Sete 270WI from Baratza, and also as coffee, they picked Red Brick by Square Mile, which is a bit awkward for me because the point of this is not to promote my own stuff, so there'll be no link to the coffee in the description, but a winner's a winner. So thanks for picking. Let's get on with it. Now, I'll go a little bit deeper into some of the features of the Decent as we go. We're going to be using a pretty simple profile on there. It's the default profile. So it's a nice pre-infusion up to 9 bars and a slow ramp back down to 6. And what you'll see during the shot is you'll see the pressure on screen in green, and you'll see the flow in blue. Now, to start us off, I'm just going to put 18 grams in the basket and see what kind of a flow rate we've got going on. And this shot is way too quick. There's probably no point tasting this. It brewed in like 23 seconds. It's just too fast. We're going to have to go finer on the grinder to get anywhere, I think. So brewing a little bit finer, we've got a nice slower shot. That's probably worth tasting now. And to taste, it was okay. It was reasonably extracted, but we still had some unpleasant acidity, a little bit of astringency, a little bit of hollowness. At this point, I think the sensible next step is again one more tweak finer, and let's pull another shot. So brewing again, if we watch the chart, we're going to see something I think a little bit interesting. We're going to see that even as the pressure declines, we see a kind of sudden uptick in flow rate. That means that it's easier for the water to pass through the puck. And chances are that means that the bed prep, the preparation of that puck before we brewed, well, that wasn't good enough. So we've had some channeling, we've had some issues here. So even though the brew time is okay, the taste of the shot is not bad, but it's not great. We need to improve our prep. And this is a kind of unique insight to the Decent. You don't see this with many espresso machines. You can't really see, unless you're using, say, third-party software, how your flow is changing in the shot. But if you can see, then it's a pretty good idea to use that information. Now, this grinder is brand new, which isn't really on its side, and also I don't love the way that it doses into the portafilter. You get a little volcano in the middle of it that you have to sort of rearrange to improve. What I'm going to do is change the setup of the grinder so it doesn't grind into the portafilter and instead grinds into its little grounds collection bin that it comes with. This will give me a chance to sort of homogenize the grounds, redistribute them as I dose them back in with the little funnel, and hopefully improve my bed prep. That should mean that for the next shot, we should have a much better tasting espresso, and we shouldn't see that same kind of rapid rise in flow towards the end of the shot. So that shot, it hits the numbers. We have our brew ratios right, we have no explosive increase in flow, it looks good, but it doesn't taste right. And this is where I realized I'd made a small mistake. I wasn't paying attention to my brew temperatures. Now, this video is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community, and it offers thousands of inspiring classes for curious people like you and me. I've been using Skillshare for quite a while now. It's been really helpful for me to develop my skill set around making videos, but that's not the only thing I get out of it. Right now, I'm really enjoying Tammy Coker's class. It's all about creating digital images, and for me, I use Photoshop a lot, but I really want to deepen my creative skills there, and this class has been fantastic. Alongside that, I'm doing this bean to bar chocolate class. If you don't know much about chocolate, but you do know a little bit about coffee, I think your mind will be blown in terms of the similarities as well as the differences between the two. Now, one of the great things about Skillshare is that it's incredibly affordable. It's less than $10 a month, and that gives you unlimited access to every single class there. And if you're interested, then click on the link in the description down below. That will take you to Skillshare, and if you sign up using this link, you'll have 2 months free of premium membership. I want you to think about what kind of skills you could learn in the next 60 days. Thanks so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. We were set down at 88. So I went into the settings, very quickly jumped up the temperature to 93, and I kept everything the same and brewed another shot, and it did brew a little bit quicker actually. So in that situation, I didn't want to start chasing my grind around. All I thought I should do is just increase my dose a little bit. So I took the dose from 18 to 18.5 and brewed that next shot. And this was a nice way for me not to chase the grind around too much, to make a small adjustment. I was by no means at the upper end of dose, so I did have that flexibility to make one simple change. And so that half gram just increased the resistance a little bit, slowed the shot down just a little bit, and lo and behold, we hit the numbers on the next espresso. And that hot to brew temperature was transformative. Now, I'm not saying that a small change in brew temperature is a sensible tweak most of the time. But this was not a small tweak. I was going from 88 up to 93. That is a big jump, and the effect was transformative. This final espresso was very sweet, very balanced. It was really well extracted. It had lovely intensity and texture, and it was what I would want from an espresso blend. It was just very enjoyable to drink. It had a great finish. I wouldn't have bothered tweaking or changing anything from there, and in fact, I made a few to share with people around the office. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this was useful to you. I hope you learned one or two things. Again, some of this is pretty specific to the Decent, but that's kind of part and parcel of these dialing in videos. We're going to use all sorts of different equipment picked by my Patreon supporters, and who knows what we'll be brewing with next. I'm going to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.